you go.
We can just do it once. Yeah, last time, the students were here, and I
Yeah.
figured let's give them a chance, but we don't have any of that today, right? No, no students.
Not now.
Okay, so we'll just do it once.
Are you live, Krista?
Yeah, we're not quite there, so.
Yes, we got live and we got audio. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, we'll wait till it strikes 5. Should I let you guys finish signing?
Sure, I'm the same.
All right, it's 5 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order, starting out with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next up is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for such approval?
I move we approve the agenda.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, agenda is approved. And then next is the executive session. I move that we adjourn into executive session for the purpose of discussion or consultation for legal advice with our attorney concerning the future vacancy of the superintendent's position. Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.
Krista, the temperature,
Yep.
can we not make it so cold?
Is it cold?
Oh, that's the opposite of what we heard all
I'm
day.
starting.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that hot outside today. Come on.
No, no.
That's summer, yeah. Okay, are we good?
And you are, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll move that we move back into regular session. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, back to our regular session. So we're moving on to approval of the minutes for our January 21st, 2026 board meeting. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move we approve the minutes from January 21st.
And a second? Anybody?
A second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Informational reports, starting out with summary of current events. Dr. J.
Yeah, Dr. Rakowski, member of the board and guests, I am super excited today to share that we have a member of our staff who will be inducted into the Lower Verde Hall of Fame. And I was unaware about the outcome of it because I wrote the essay and nominated them without telling them. And I found out in the paper actually today, so good job over there, Fountain Hills Times, I appreciate it. Denise Matus. Yeah, give it up for Denise. 35 years, I believe, in the district, serving this community, still, working so strong, pushing for stronger academics, and just one of the most amazing educators I've worked with. And so when I got the email about and you want to nominate anyone, I thought about her and all the work she's done in this district for so many years, and the work she's done at Little Falcons Preschool, and are just positive, just every day gets after it, and I couldn't be happier for her. So I called her today. She had no idea who nominated her, so I told her it was me, but she was so excited and so happy, and it's a great evening. Bernie and I got to see that firsthand last year, and it's a really great opportunity to bring your family and be recognized for all the hard work that you've done. And so Denise is well deserved, and what a career! And she's still going. So we hope she'll stay a little longer. But congrats to Denise. I didn't invite her tonight. Maybe we'll bring her in for a special Falcon of the Month or something like that coming up, but I just was excited today when I saw it. I only saw it a couple hours ago, and I just got really excited. So congrats, Denise. Just want to give us some updates on our sports. We wrapped up soccer yesterday, and very proud of our athletes working hard and continue to improve. And for the younger players, as they head into next year, we'll expect great things from them. Boys and girls basketball are two of the top teams in the state. Both of them have they're gonna have a strong state tournament coming up. They have some tough games this week, but that's great right before the state tournament to get a little test. And I am very excited to see both of them go deep into the tournament, and hopefully we'll be back here with a couple of state title parades and recognitions for them. But congrats to Coach Bonner and Coach Farrington in his first year as girls coach. They're both doing really good work. Both alumni, I want to point out, and doing well. And then our wrestlers, Ava Bourne is I think she's ranked number 2 or 3 in her division, but we all know she's number one in our hearts. She's going to do a great job in the state tournament. And she was runner-up last year. I watched that match, and she's on a mission to get it done this year. So Ava has dominated throughout. Trapani is one of our top boy wrestlers. He has been dominating throughout the year as well, and he's going to have a great state tournament. And as a team, I'm really proud of the kids. I got to run the clock at their last match, and so I did the walkout music and put their pictures up and had a lot of fun with it. So congrats to them. Coach Salzman hit his 300th win for duels, which is amazing. It's a huge feat, And you would never know, he'd never tell you that. And if you watch him coach, he's one of the most respectful coaches to the refs and to the community. So we're very proud of them. And then, got to read my handwriting there, I don't have my glasses. We got trimester 2 ending at all the sites, and it's a little bit, at the elementary, we got conferences coming up, which is a very big deal. And then at the middle and high school, it's a lot of shifting classes, especially at the high school. They got to do a complete shift here into trimester 3. I believe we have about 25 early grads that are taking advantage of that. So they finished their internship presentations. I got to sit in on a couple of those. And we're going to have 2 or 3 come to a future board meeting to present their internship presentation. But 25 already done, ready to move on. That helps you raise that graduation rate to where we've had the last couple of years, get them done early. And I asked one of the kids today, and he said, I'm going to work a lot over the next couple of months getting ready for what's next. So really excited that our district has done that and allows kids to graduate early but still come back for the big events like prom and graduation. So with that, I conclude my comments.
Okay, thanks. All right, on to governing board members. I'm going to start down this one. Bernie and Dan.
It's always interesting to go to one of the coffees with the principal. So went with coffee with Val, and not only about academics and testing, but about the other agencies doing support for the school system, like the PTO and Kiwanis and the Garden Group and things like that. So it's a good exchange. It'll be really great. I know it's during the day, but to get some more parent involvement for them to come in. On the one for middle school, when I went to see Dr. Wheeldryer, her fill-in was Erin Parrott, and she did a super job. She made the announcements and went through everything just as if Dr. W was there. So it turned out to be really good, and she also, I gave her a couple extra points for doing the music program in the middle school. And we got concerts coming up for the elementary school. I saw that. And Mentor Appreciation Day, went to that one. They had the coalition, and we met some of the interns working with the coalition. A great guest speaker came in to talk about her personal experience with her child. And then we were basically introduced to the talks that came up last week by Thomas Blackwell, the author of The Liberty of Our Language Revealed, and that was a very motivational experience that they had in the lecture hall that I went to, and I know it happened a couple other times while he was here. Took the middle school students that are in the Kiwanis Leadership Program and took them over to see Marissa in the Native American Cultural Center. They didn't even know it existed, and they're on part of the campus. So we went in there and had a really good experience walking around and having her explain. And I asked her to explain her background, how she got here. That is really interesting. I don't know. When you get a chance, just ask her. It's just really cool. And then the Strategic Planning Advisory Council, we talked about growth, state land trust, and other priorities and properties, and following through what's on sale from the school system here. And good input from Amanda, and she also is part of the facilities committee, so she's really interested in seeing things moving forward. So, thank you.
Okay. Kim?
Once again, my list is not nearly as long as Bernie's. But let's see, the last time since we did our reports, I have continued to work with my mentee in the mentor program. So that's been really great, and I've enjoyed that program quite a bit. And I also have been going to cross-country events because my son is in middle school cross-country. And it's been really great. This is the first official sport that he's participated in middle school. And just to see the coaches, Mary McDonald and Stephanie Beck, lead those students and help them gain a love of a sport. A lot of the students are new this year. So just teaching them about setting their own personal records and just striving to do their very best and yet also working as a team, even though it's cross-country, right? Some people would think that's not really a team sport, but it really is, truly is. So it's been fantastic. They just had their championship run meet on Saturday, this past Saturday, and it was in the morning, and they all had to get up early and catch the bus together, and it was just really fun to participate and go to those meets and see the students grow throughout the season. And then the last thing that I was able to join, because my mentee was absent, I finally was able to go to a coffee with Kane. And so I really enjoyed that. It was really great to see how that's run. And he runs it right here in the Learning Center in the back there, and has it online so parents can and community members could join online as well. You don't have to be in the room. Went through a variety of very important topics, talking about the new schedule that they're trying to, socialize with parents for the middle school, to bring the middle school schedule to align with the high school schedule. And then a lot of other topics, mostly surrounding finances and money, is how I would put it. So a really informative coffee with Kane. And are those recorded?
No.
No, okay.
Gotta be there for the show.
So if anyone has any questions about specific topics and things I learned during that meeting, I'm happy to talk with them about it. But I really enjoyed that, so thank you, Kane, for doing that.
Okay.
That's it.
Lily?
I'm glad to see other people go to the coffees too, because I have joined just about all of them. And it really is informative. That's what, sometimes you find out something in advance of what's going on, see different things. I think we were once that were picking the little Falcons logo we were looking at first when that came up. So that's been really informative. I've also gone to the site council meetings. I sit back and don't really talk, just listen. But it's great hearing the conversations from everybody that's there. For Vale's group, all the teachers go. There's a representative from each grade, and that's really, really informative because they're telling us exactly where they are. And Ms. Matus goes to that too, so she talks about the preschool, which will be great next year, if they're combined, so that'll be really good. I did go to Protect Our Youth Coalition meeting, and it was great seeing the interns there. I'm just floored at the group of kids that have volunteered to be interns the past 3 years, because I never thought anybody could top the first group, but they do. They don't top it, but they're just as good. And one of the boys in this group, I heard him later, and he said, "But I'm the best, right?" I said, "Of course, So it was great. And they talked about the future for the coalition, especially financially, because funds are being cut everywhere, so it's just, they're really thinking ahead of where they should get money from, different groups and different ideas. And the leader says she doesn't really get much sleep and calls every morning to see if the finances were coming through from the federal government. So it'd be interesting to know if she got them or not, because even that the grants went from, I think she said 100 and some to only 60 some for the whole country. So we never know for sure if you're going to get it or not. I did go to the health fair because she mentioned that the students were going to speak at the health fair. They did a fantastic job. It was 3 representatives from the middle school and 1 from the high school. And they were really impressive. It was too bad that we didn't have more people listening, because there were several of us, teachers, principal, and parents. There might have been a few other community members. They were outside, but they didn't go in to listen. But the kids are just unbelievable, and I think the middle school ones are the ones that are going to be going to Washington, D.C., so there'll be a good representation, and I'm sure they'll come back with great ideas. With the coalition, I had heard that Thomas Blackwell was coming to speak. So I joined that Wednesday, the professional development group with the teachers and administrators. He was incredible. Talked about being positive and how, you're thinking you're doing something good, but you're really hurting yourself when you're saying something negative, not just, that team is bad, let's say. But by saying the word bad to yourself, you're hurting yourself. So that was really interesting to me. I just kept going back and going, okay, let's think of how you're thinking. And he mentioned, wake up in the morning and say, it's going to be a great day. And things really do go along. He did a few demonstrations that were really unreal to see that a negative idea in your head or a negative thought that someone said, and holding a piece of paper to your heart that had the negative words, and it really affected you. So that was unreal. And I signed up to get his little quotes every Monday morning, so that was good. I went to the state of the town to listen to what's going on, and I was disappointed that the mayor didn't mention our school district, because he mentioned all the great things about the town, and we're the greatest thing there is here. So that was disappointing, and I did tell him that I wish he had said something, so I felt good. I went to talk to him because I noticed that he was from Illinois, and he got his master's degree in the same school I did, so I checked on that one. I went to the dance performance from middle school and high school one of the nights, and that's always a highlight, and I'm looking forward to going to the elementary school and hearing the 3rd through 5th graders perform. And it's okay if I'm standing, Phil, if it's standing room only, like last time. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay. So I made it to Coffee with Kane yesterday, and I agree, very informative, and I always appreciate the opportunity to go there when my work schedule allows. That was good. And then just to add on to the comments about Thomas Blackwell, so I went to one of the sessions for the high school students, and I went to the parents' community session the next night, which was a different presentation. And I agree. I mean, his approach is very entertaining. It's very informative. And if you haven't read his book, The Liberty of Our Language Revealed, I would encourage you highly to read that book. And if you have the opportunity to actually go to one of his sessions, and if you have a group that will, he's very eager to come. And if you have a group that wants to hear him, contact him, and he's willing to come. And I gather that the cost is adjustable based on your interest, so it's not necessarily that expensive. But definitely, The Liberty of Our Language Revealed, excellent book. And that's all I have. Okay. So moving on to reports, starting with Site Council minutes. And for that, I just had one kind of observation, and this was also mentioned in Coffee with Kane yesterday. So in the high school one, Falcon Fiesta, unsure if someone is stepping up to organize that. That would be a shame if Falcon Fiesta doesn't go on. And one of the comments here, discussion about not having it on campus this year. I thought that was the whole point of having it safe and close to home. So is there anything we can do to make sure that it happens? And I'm willing to volunteer more too, besides bingo.
Well, so I'm glad that that got brought up. As a senior parent myself, I think time just kind of flew this year, and it's already January, so nothing has come out about it. Or February.
Yeah.
That too. See, it's really flying.
It's flying. It'll be March by the end of the meeting. So I'm going to we took note of that. That was the first I'd heard of it. We will get on it. I know a lot of these senior parents, obviously, from my daughter being in the class. I know they'll come together and get it done. They just may need a little bit more guidance, which I'm willing to do. So I'll have a report for you at the next meeting, but it is on our list.
Good, because that's, it's a wonderful, I've been there, I don't know how many years, probably about 10 or 11 when my kids were high school students and such, so it's a great event. Other comments about site council minutes?
My question also was in the high school site council minutes. I just was wondering about the 6,000 plus in the account for vending machines.
Oh, I can answer that because I was there.
Okay.
They're using that money for the graduation.
Oh, this is money that was raised by the vending
Yeah, we didn't
machines.
buy them.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
That's what, I
no.
was
They're
like.
free. So
They're
they
free.
take, we get a commission,
Yeah.
and then they take, a percentage, and so it builds up over time, and then
Okay.
it's used for projects like that.
Okay.
So it's a win for the schools to be able to have them in there.
Perfect. And then my other question was, the PTO attended that site council. I know they attend a variety of them all the time, but it says the gliders have been ordered.
Oh, there was, I think in the area where they have people being picked up,
Mm-hmm.
that they wanted to put something there so students wouldn't be standing. Oh, no, the gliders, I take it back. That's in the section where it's like a garden, and the sped students go there a lot. There's one section at the high school.
Okay.
That's a little fence. I believe that's where they're gonna put those.
And
Oh,
what,
those are the swings.
Yeah.
oh, gliders
Yeah.
meaning
I
swings.
think it's the
Thank
swings.
you.
So
Yeah.
they're-
Okay.
We created that about 10 years ago, that garden space.
Right.
And I think some of the furniture got, over time, bad, and so they're replacing it, is my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Okay. Other comments? No? Okay. Moving on to current enrollment,
Do we
pages
need to
33 and
approve it?
34.
We don't need to approve that. so.
No, just
No,
any
right.
comments or,
Yeah.
no? Okay. Public comments, do we, oh, you have
I
something?
do have a comment.
Okay.
On the enrollment, I just want to note that, I always like to look at the page that shows transferring in, transferring out, and kind of some of the details there. And wow, I mean, a lot of high school students transferred in.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's for ASU.
Yeah.
I mean, do we have any, is this abnormal to have that many high school students come in?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think the high school comes and goes.
Oh, they flip back and forth? Okay.
So, some of that, yeah, you see a little bit of that where kids are maneuvering towards graduation. But it is one of the best high schools in the state, if not the best, so maybe
Yeah.
that's
I
why.
do think
Yeah.
that since ASU, though, I do think we've
Yeah.
seen an influx of people.
Yeah.
transfer.
And overall, there are some transfers from Scottsdale
Yes,
schools.
there
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, it's not all one way.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay, any other comments? Okay. Public comments, do we have any? We do not. Okay, moving on to action items, starting with the Personnel Action Report on page 35. Any questions, or do we have a motion to approve?
I move we approve the personnel action report.
Okay, and a second?
A second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's approved unanimously. Moving on to payroll vouchers, pages 36 to 43. Same thing, any questions or comments? Do you want to move to approve?
I was going to move to approve the payroll vouchers.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. Accounts payable vouchers, starting on page 44. And I think I had a couple of questions here, I don't know. Yeah, on one, Carts Parts, $3,000 plus for a 2007 club car? Is that a replacement or a repair? or-
Yeah, it was a purchase, it was a recommendation from Todd Harris, who's been helping a ton with maintenance, to have a used cart to haul trash and
Okay.
some of the maintenance issues. So we traded in, I believe, 2 old ones to get the price down, and then that's a very affordable cart at that price for,
Okay.
so that was what it was for.
And it's a 2007, so it's not like a new I mean, it's.
No, it's
Very
definitely
economical.
used, but it was refurbished, and I believe
Okay.
we bought it local as well. I'd have to double check that, but I thought it was a local purchase.
Okay. And then the other question is DePace Door Services, $7,368. I don't think the invoice specified where that was or what for.
So we have only used them twice this year, and it could be a billing for either A, the special ed suite we did in the middle school office, which a lot of you have seen, where Leah and Jennifer are. We redid all the walls and doors and things in there. And then the second big one we did is in the McDowell Mountain self-contained classroom. We opened 2 classrooms into one and put in glass doors between it so the teacher could have more space. So those are the only 2 projects we've done with DH Pace that are large, so it's going to be one of those.
Okay. And then a couple, there was one from Glitter Stars, which I think we talked about at the last meeting, and for Goddess Tanks, and I think you had mentioned that's reimbursed by donations or whatever,
Which one?
for Glitter Stars, for
Yeah,
Goddess Tanks?
that's paid out of student activities.
Student activities.
Yeah.
And then what about Boss Babe Designs of $1,100 for jacket embroidery? Is that also out of
Yes.
student activities?
Yes.
Okay. That's all the questions I have about that.
I see pretty much every PO for M&O comes through
Okay.
my desk. So those are all ones that would come out of student activities.
Got it.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
No.
No? Okay, then I will move that we approve the accounts payable vouchers. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, those are approved. Moving on to donations, which we always appreciate, and there's some big ones this month. And as always, we were very appreciative to, Marine Corps League, total of $2,400, and Dick Beddington Real Estate for $10,000. I think that's for the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, and for all the others, I mean, we're very appreciative, including Lillian, thank you, for the donations. Any other comments or questions on that?
Just a question on the scoreboard. So where are we at, given this big donation? Are we even close?
I'd have to get an update from Dr. Nguyen on that. Like I said, we really need to push the fundraising here on this project, and I believe that we will get there. I am trying to, make sure that we have a good reserve account for our capital. This will be a capital purchase. And with the preschool moving and some unknowns there, that's a priority for us right now. So I hope they can get there before the time that comes. If not, it will be a project for next year.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, so did we make a motion for donations? Not
No.
yet, right? Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve and accept gratefully the donations. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next up is the emergency procurement from Goody Garage Door. And I gather, I don't know if you have any comment, I gather the door was, and the buses couldn't get out, and like we have to
Yes.
fix it?
So it was a security issue, and, anytime there's something like that, we have to do the emergency procurement, in my opinion. And so we bring it to you to get that approved, so it's not an audit finding down the road. But yes, it was something that had to be done and fixed immediately.
Okay. Well, I'll make the motion that we approve the emergency procurement for Goody Garage Door. Do I have
I'll
a second?
second.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on. The purchase of over $100,000. There are several here. First of all is for the ACEs, which is special ed.
Yep.
Right.
I'll give you some background. So typically, these usually come earlier in the year, so we apologize, they are coming a little bit later. But as they start to approach that threshold, then we need to get approval. And so we are getting approval tonight. These are normal, pretty much every year type vendors that we're used to seeing. So 2 of them are for special ed. One is for subs and possible retirees that are working in the district. And then lastly, you have Bel Air Mechanical. So I'll start with the ACEs. The ACEs, we have several students who require private placement due to their academic needs, and we cannot provide sometimes the services locally due to our staffing limitations. So through the IEP process, students may be placed at either the ACES, Sierra Academy, Chrysalis. We have there's various vendors. One of the things that shifted with the ACEs that is bringing it to you tonight is that we had a resignation, as you recall, in December. A teacher moved out of our community, and Ms. Reichler did a great job with Leah of troubleshooting that. And what they came up with is that most of the students would be able to continue to receive their services locally, but we had a couple that could not. And so we placed them for the rest of the year in a private placement, and that's going to push us over the top.
Okay. Questions? Comments? Okay, who would like to make the motion to approve?
I so move.
Anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. Moving on to Sierra Academy, purchase over $100,000.
It'd be the same scenario, just a different, we give parents some choice between different schools that are available. Some specialize in different areas than others, so this would be a very similar situation where we have private placements that will exceed by the end of the year over $100,000.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the purchase over $100,000 for Sierra Academy. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next up is the purchase over $100,000 for ESI.
These are your substitute teachers, any work that's done. We haven't really used contractors through ESI, so this will be your subs, and we have, I believe, we just have one retiree that is going through ESI as part of their retirement. So again, this is pretty typical. This is going to be, I would say, maybe as we shrink, it'll eventually get to under 100,000. But right now, with our current staffing, it will. I will predict next year and the following year as well.
Okay, any questions, comments? Okay, I'll move that we approve the purchase over $100,000 for ESI. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next up is the purchase over $100,000 for Bel Air Mechanical.
Well, I was really hoping not to bring this to you this year,
Yeah.
but it's not. We'll eventually hit that. I do want to point out that I think a lot of people have learned, especially with the work that Todd has done as a community member, volunteering all the time he does. We're saving a lot of money there on his knowledge and what he brings to the table. But there are so many repairs and parts that are needed for that air conditioning system, mainly at the high school, middle school campus. And we just had a pipe break this week that we had to replace, and that required digging it out and replacement. And they came out same day and got it under control. And so we have a good partnership with them, but Todd is always pushing on, making sure that we're getting the best prices, the best deals. And we have used other vendors. We don't just rely on one. But when you have a system as complex as ours, sometimes timing is an issue. And like this, we had water squirting out of the ground in the middle school, very similar to a park we have nearby. And so we wanted to get that under control immediately. And Bel Air was able to come out right away and do that. So we do expect that to hopefully come down. We have replaced so many parts in the last 4 years that I would hope we're running out of parts to replace, but that is one you'll probably see moving forward, at least for a while.
Okay.
Can I add to what you just said? So, and this is from your Coffee with Kane. So, Todd was able to help save us a little money on this pipe issue, which of course my son came home and reported to me the horrors of seeing the water.
Yeah.
So instead of having to have Bel Air or whoever do the digging, we were able to kind of keep that in-house
We
and
did.
save
A lot. And we
like
also,
$9,000.
yeah, we poured the cement ourselves too, which was a $7,800 savings.
Yeah.
So Juan and Christian did that today, and as part of it, they wanted a little extra decoration. So they wanted, and I thought it was kind of cute, they had Frank walk through it, so his paw prints will forever be on the campus, and we have a video of that, and it was really cute. So
Did he sign too? or-
he did not, but his paw prints are enough. So
Cool.
It was very cool. So you're right, Kim. I apologize for not sharing that. They saved, I would say, probably overall over $10,000 on that project by doing a lot of the work in-house. And that's something I'm really proud of where we were 4 years ago to where we're at today. A lot of plumbing, a lot of doors, even though we had the one today, that was a big project. But outside of that, a lot of the work we're doing ourselves, and it's really helping reduce costs. So, yeah, good point.
Okay.
And Ted mentioned the only problem is sometimes he needs somebody to help with Spanish, to speak to the workers, and I volunteered. I said, all he has to do is call me, I'll come over, and we'll translate.
Okay. Who would like to make the motion to approve the Bel Air Mechanical purchase?
I'll move to approve the purchase.
Okay, and how about a second?
I second.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to information and discussion items, starting with Policy Advisory 960, one of our favorite topics. If you had a chance to look through this, basically, it's just a couple of changes that are based on state law, and I looked through it, doesn't seem like there's anything real objectionable. It's just changing the limits and stuff consistent with changes in state law. Any comments or questions about that one?
No, just
So
changing
it'll
some
be on-
dates and things, otherwise.
Yeah,
it's-
so it'll be
it's
on our
right.
next meeting for approval, for action. Okay, then the superintendent vacancy, which unfortunately we have to deal with. And I asked Dr. J yesterday if he would change his mind, which I knew the answer, but I had to ask anyway. So the process that we have to pursue is multifaceted, and I guess the idea is to toss around for discussion here is to, what exactly we should do in terms of, the search, community input, staff input and that, and I don't know who wants to make suggestions or comments. Elaine, you want to
Maybe
start?
let's start with the survey that should go out to staff, and students, community members, parents. Because we want to make sure that we have everybody's input. What is it that they're looking for or they think is important for us? And I think the main thing is that we need to do this quickly. It needs to be done by April, I believe. So we need to move fast. So I would say we need to put together questions for survey and put them out, and we're all willing to meet extra time to discuss everything.
Okay, and those questions, we're going to offer questions or seek outside suggestions from other districts and such?
So I'm willing to provide you with some potential questions other districts use, and then, if there's any specific questions as a board you want us to put on there, we'll set it up, and we'll send it out on behalf of the board, and then you'll get the results of that, and then guide us further if you want any follow-up to the survey. I think a lot of districts, your basic questions really rely on what characteristics, you're looking for in that position. Maybe qualifications is another area. Maybe prioritize 1 to 5 or 1 to 3. You can give a list of characteristics: visibility, approachability, school finance, things like that you're looking for between the skills and the attributes. And then you'll get some variety of responses based. Students will have a different take on this whole process versus parents versus staff. And then I think collectively, by doing it that way, you'll get a really good understanding of what are maybe the top 3 to 5 things you're looking for in that, and then you can share that with any stakeholder groups that are a part of the process.
Okay. Do we have an idea of how many, because I'm kind of averse to long questionnaires or long surveys. Do we have an idea of how many questions we want? 3, 5?
Well, this is kind of what I do in my work, right? I work in hiring, recruiting area, so I'm
All in
very,
favor of Kim leading
very
this?
accustomed,
Yes.
very accustomed to how many questions people are willing to answer and how quickly and how long they spend on it. So it kind of depends. If the questions are single select type questions, yes, no, or like you said, prioritizing or whatever, those can go fairly quickly.
Mhm.
if you're asking people to submit paragraphs, that's where you get people dropping out and not wanting to participate.
I would object to paragraphs.
Yeah, and I would say that, although I would say that it is always a good idea to have at least one open-ended question
Right.
at the end of our survey where people can put whatever they want in there
Yeah.
as feedback.
Anything additional you'd like to share or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
And I would just add to, if there's any Likert scale questions, so that'd be on a scale of 1 to 5 or whatnot, or good, very bad, whatever. One thing I learned doing my dissertation is put I do not know as an option, so people are not forced to pick something, because it skews your data pretty quickly when you do that. So giving them an out on that
Yeah.
question is
No
always.
opinion or don't know?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
all right.
I would be more than welcome for Ms. Duckworth to run that whole thing if she wants to, if that's an area of
Okay.
expertise. Or if you want us to, it's your choice, whichever way you wanted to do. I believe we could get something out by Friday and open it up and give you access to those responses.
Yeah, if you could generate something for us, and then, you know,
Okay.
we can get feedback and
Okay.
timeframe sense. We need to get it rolling, so.
Okay.
Other
Yes.
comments, Bernie?
Yeah, I was going to say, similar to what I'm doing with the master planning for facilities, is we're not going to be able to sit here and do it all ourselves, and we're going to involve the community in doing the surveys, is to come up with some working groups or committees that will be an advisory nature to help us out
Mhm.
and look at the surveys and et cetera. So, somewhere around involvement from the community, staff, of course, and importantly, to use students also.
Yeah, and community/parents
Right.
combined, okay.
So 10 to 12 questions, sound about right?
If they're yes, no, or kind
Yeah.
of easy to, yeah.
12
And
essays.
then one general,
12
any other
essays.
comments you'd wish to share?
Yeah, okay.
And then, based on what Bernie brought up, for an advisory committee that's comprised, it's either one committee or maybe it's three smaller committees comprised of those categories of folks that we just talked about, students, community parents, and staff. Do we have an idea of kind of how many people we think in those committees is a good number? Because you don't want it to be too big, but you don't want it to be too small.
Well, would they be assessing the survey, or?
No, for the actual advisory committee for hiring.
Oh,
for
okay.
search. Right.
Well, then the other thing is, do we, I mean, I would, for transparency, we want to post the job position, and if, once we get a job description, post it and solicit nominees,
Yes.
or candidates, rather, okay. And then again, that probably expedited, try to get that done relatively soon. Are the district attorney, not the district attorney, but our district's attorney
Right.
will generate a contract for
Yeah,
posting?
yeah, so, yes, we can have, there's a base one, obviously, but he can take any changes that you want and have that kind of
Okay.
ready to go. Typically, you're going to want to advertise, salary benefits, things of that nature,
Right.
so people can look at that. And then contract negotiations are at the tail end. I would suggest that if we're to get the survey out and then have a special meeting to review the survey data publicly, and then at that meeting, maybe make an agenda item to decide next steps or whatever that is.
Okay.
So can I suggest that if, I like the idea of having a special meeting and reviewing the survey data, but could we also, if we think we're going to put together an advisory committee for our search, could we also have that be on that agenda, so we're kind of moving things along, since we need to
Yeah.
move?
Yeah, I think in terms of time, yeah, we need to kind of get rolling on this.
And what you could do is in that action is give the district whatever, I would assume, like I said, with students, I would assume you would rely on the school principals or teachers to nominate those, since they know
Right.
them. And then as far as parents and community, that could be at the board's discretion, how they want to do that. and with staff, again, either at your discretion or at the principal's discretion. So you could decide all that at that meeting and give us the parameters for that advisory group and get them ready to go to start the process.
So at that special meeting, we would then have an action item as to how to solicit volunteers for those
Yes.
committees?
Yep.
Okay, so,
Okay.
um,
And we'll have an open meeting on that, correct? Or-
Correct,
Right.
yes.
Right.
And then once you have that established, then the work would be done to create those groups. And then at that point, if you've decided that you, at the next special meeting, want to put a job posting together and all that, you could vote on that at the next meeting or wait and do it at the second special meeting. You have quite a few special meetings coming up, so you have a lot of options. Time is on your side there because you can set those whenever you want.
do we want to start next Wednesday, special meeting?
I think so.
6 o'clock here?
Sure.
Yeah, good, okay. Other issues relating to the vacancy that we can discuss now?
I
Cover
think it's
everything?
really just getting folks identified that will participate in it from the public.
I think, letting the principals pick students.
Students.
We want at least one in the elementary, don't you think? Somebody
Yeah.
4th or 5th grade.
Yeah.
And I would say that the principal should give us names of teachers, but talk to the teachers and see if somebody just volunteers versus saying you have to be at the meeting.
Yeah, I think it has to be a volunteer
Right,
and representing the different schools.
right.
Yeah.
And then I'd say at the next meeting, when you've created some of this structure of how it's going to go, that might be a good point for the board to send a letter to the community. This is our process. This is how we're handling this.
Yeah.
So that they're in the know, and we can send that as a Falcon Focus newsletter for you on your behalf.
Okay.
Can it go in the Times Independent too?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I mean, yeah.
He took a note.
Well, I mean, to be transparent and solicit input.
Sure.
So no one says we're trying to hide things. Okay, other issues?
No.
Okay, so at a next week's special meeting, we'll discuss and decide, vote on these various things to get things moving. Okay. Moving on. Go
Wait,
ahead, yeah.
one other thing.
Sure.
So did we identify, so we're going to gather our survey questions.
Right.
We're going to send them out through the mechanism that you guys have to do that. And did we identify when we want that survey? Like, what's our goal for when the survey goes out? And obviously, for having our special meeting on Wednesday to review the survey, it's going to close at some point.
It'd be nice to have those answers by then.
Yeah, I would suggest maybe, it's all up to you how fast you can review. You could also have part of the, you got a couple ways you go about it. We could close it at like 10 a.m. and it gives you some time. And then you could also, I guess you could carve out some time to review as well in the meeting if you wanted to. We'd have to just check on how we agenda that and do that. But a lot of since there's only one open-ended question, that's the only one that's going to take time to go through. All the others will be graphical interfaces you'll be able to look at pretty quick.
And if there's not enough answers, we could always decide to defer the survey evaluation to another meeting.
Yeah.
If there's only like 2-3 responses, then it's like, it's not statistically valid anyway.
And would our goal be to, in terms of timing and using our system to send it out, is the goal to have the survey together by, say, Friday?
Friday, I think Friday.
Okay.
We could send it out as part of our Falcon Focus.
Okay.
And I think that last question, and I just want to be clear on this, make sure you all agree, but I would have that open-ended question be a optional, not required
Yeah.
question, because you'll
Yeah.
get some,
Right.
Not required.
yeah, you'll
Yeah.
get some different answers.
Optional.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Did we decide on when that survey is going to close?
Wednesday at 10, does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
Question generation, how we mechanically go about doing that? Are we all going to look at the questions, the survey questions?
Ideally, we should all,
I think we should review them.
Well, I
Can
think,
we-
my understanding, you'll send out,
Yeah.
us and
we
we'll
should
give
submit,
feedback
yeah.
to you as to yes, no, or change this or whatever.
Right, or add
Yeah.
something.
So we all.
Because otherwise, we need
submit-
another special meeting to review that, which is, I mean, that's,
Well, we will check with the attorney to make sure if that's required. And if
Okay.
that does, that may just push us back a day
Yeah.
on that, because I want to get that right. But what I would say for, tomorrow and into Friday is if there are specific questions that you'd like on there, so we can start preparing it and creating the document. And then I will, tomorrow, by, mid-morning, send you some examples from other districts that have used in their searches, so you can kind of see like what kind of questions. So it may require, since we're making a decision on the survey, to have that. It could be a virtual quick meeting of just approving it.
Yeah.
But let me get advice from Dave on that.
okay,
Okay.
Okay,
My guess would be no, but I will definitely ask.
okay.
okay.
And Krista will give you a response on his response about the survey, so you know early tomorrow.
Good,
So be
good.
looking at our email.
All right.
Okay, anything else on that? Okay, if not, future actions, student outcomes such as report cards and proficiency data, the M&O override, budget reductions upcoming, and then dates of upcoming meetings, next week, and then February 18th, a special meeting next week, February 18th for our regular meeting, March 4th for our regular business meeting. And if there's nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. I didn't use it, though.
Oh, okay.
I didn't use it. It was just carrying case, see?
See?
I tell you, I was just prepared, always prepared. I wasn't a Boy Scout, but I tried to be.